5 Best Places in Puglia, Italy. You must visit. Puglia, Italy, is a breathtaking region in Italy's south. Among the best places in Puglia, you'll find all of what the region has to offer. The crystal-clear waters that you can admire from rocky cliffs or sandy beaches, the lush vegetation of the national parks, and small towns full of art, history, and amazing food. It's not surprising that Puglia is one of the most popular destinations in Italy. There are so many amazing places to visit, and whatever type of travel you are looking for, Puglia is for you. From relaxing at the beach to visiting an ancient cathedral, Puglia should definitely be on your destination wish list. If you are planning a Puglia itinerary and are wondering about the best places to visit in Puglia, Italy, I've got you covered. It's also a region near and dear to my heart, because it's where my husband and his family are from. In this guide, you'll discover historic towns, beautiful beaches with their crystal-clear waters, and countless unique places up and down Puglia's Adriatic coast to fall in love with. Number 5. Gargano Peninsula, the spur of the heel of Italy's boot. The Gargano is an oft-overlooked part of the region of Puglia. It is another green and lush area. Most of it is part of the Gargano National Park. Pine forests, olive groves, coastline cliffs, and sandy beaches are what you can experience if you decide to take your trip into the northern part of Puglia, Italy. There are several must-see places on the Gargano Peninsula, including the Puglia towns of Viste, Pescissi, and Vico del Gargano, which is considered one of the most gorgeous villages in Italy. The Viste coastline is what makes this place a tourist attraction. Long beaches and sea caves, and the characteristic Pisamano, a massive monolith over 80 feet tall. The Pisamano is so popular that it became the symbol of Viste. Viste is full of history, with a central cathedral, a castle, and the typical trabucchi, old fishing contraptions built from wood that look like houses suspended above the water. You can admire the trabucchi in Pescissi as well. Pescissi's historical center is small but breathtaking. White houses and narrow streets that lead up to the Norman castle from which you have a panoramic view of the Adriatic coastline. But what makes Pescissi so popular are its beaches. Take a stop at Spiaggia di Calanel and Spiaggia di Ziana to make your stay in Pescissi simply perfect. Number 4. Alta Murgia National Park. Puglia is known for its beaches and towns, but there are immense areas of pristine nature. If you love trekking, or just admiring different plants and trees, and animal species, then the Alta Murgia National Park should be your next stop. Located a little less than a 40-minute drive from Andria, inside the national park, there is the magnificent Castel del Monte, a gorgeous symmetrical castle on the top of a hill. Legend says that the castle was commissioned by Emperor Frederick II to hide the Holy Grail, once delivered by the Knights Templar. This iconic castle is a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its historical significance and unique architectural style. Number 3. Andria, just 25 minutes from Trani. There is the town of Andria. Andria has 3 incredible worship sites to visit: Chiesa di Sant'Agostino, Cattedrale di Santa Maria Assunta, and Basilica di Santa Maria dei Miracoli. The history of the first church is linked to the presence of the Knights Templar, and its construction dates back to the 13th century. The Cattedrale di Santa Maria Assunta is more commonly known as Andria Cathedral. Its original structure was created in the 12th century, but it was reconstructed 2 centuries later in a Baroque style. Andria Cathedral houses the crypt of the Holy Savior, which contains the tombs of the wives of Emperor Frederick II. The Santuario di Santa Maria dei Miracoli is located in the main square, Piazza San Pox. The most stunning element of the church is the ornate ceiling, with the central picture of the Virgin Mary, surrounded by gold designs. When you are done exploring the churches, there is another stop you shouldn't miss: the Museo del Confedo, a museum entirely dedicated to the making of all kinds of candies and chocolates, but also to the Mucci family's story and long history of keeping the business running since the 1890s. Number 2. Trani. Leaving Bari and proceeding north, you can reach the gorgeous town of Trani within a 45-minute ride. Trani is still a Puglia hidden gem. Those who don't have a lot of time to travel in Puglia often don't stop here. So, it's a great way to get off the beaten path, at least while this town remains a secret. SHHH. However, Trani is just magical. It is a typical town in the region of Puglia, with its port, the fishermen who are busy catching and selling, and the locals happily going about their daily lives. The best place to visit, Trani Cathedral, or Cattedrale di San Nicola Pellegrino, its Italian name. The cathedral is built in the Romanesque architectural medieval style, but it presents an unusual element, a high-pointed arch in the passage beneath the bell tower, which renders the cathedral even more majestic. It is constructed using the Trani's local pinkish limestone, which makes the visit to the cathedral perfect at sunset, when the stone captures the sun's orange light, painting the cathedral with incredible color. Another Puglia must-see in Trani is the Jewish quarter, the Giudecca, with its maze of streets and its two synagogues, the Sant'Anna and the Scala Nova. You can stroll on your own or join a Trani walking tour. Number 1. Bari. Once you arrive in Bari, don't rush to leave. Stay and explore this beautiful coastal town. The best part to visit is the old town, called Bari Vecchia in Italian. Within the historic center, there are so many things to do in Bari. Walk down the narrow streets, or bike to Bari's main sites with a guide. Learn how to make handmade orecchiette. Admire the stone walls and the iron balconies, and finally arrive at the sea. Bari's promenade is decorated with characteristic street lamps, and it is the best place to sit and have a drink or grab a bite. You will need just a day to see the best of Bari, but if you want to experience something special, I suggest you stay overnight and get up bright and early to see the city slowly wake up. There is nothing more special than seeing how seafaring people's lives go on in the morning, as if rocked by the waves of the sea. Bari Vecchia is a perfect way to start your Puglia trip. Pro tip: if you plan to spend more than a day a night in Bari, book a hotel with parking or wait to pick up your rental car until you're ready to move on. Parking can be tricky in the city center otherwise. Where is Puglia, Italy? The teacher in me can't help but start with a few basics. So, let's first cover some practical information about the region, as well as helpful Puglia tips, so you can plan a successful trip. In Italy, Puglia is affectionately called the heel of the boot, in Italian il tacco dello stivale, because of its position. Imagine Italy's boot shape, and Puglia is located in the southeastern part, the heel. The region is bordered by the Adriatic Sea to the east, and the Ionian Sea to the southeast. Airports in Puglia. Puglia's capoluogo, capital city, is Bari, which will likely be the starting point of your trip, because the international airport is located here. The other one is further south in Brindisi. There are no direct flights to Bari from the US, however. Many carriers offer direct flights to Rome and Milan, as well as other European cities like Paris, Frankfurt, and Zurich, making connections to Bari Airport quite simple. To reach Brindisi Airport, there are similar connections from other European cities. How to get around Puglia. Another element you should keep in mind is transportation. Unfortunately, the Puglia region is not well served by public transport. While it's possible to take a train to Bari from other Italian cities like Rome or Florence, it will be difficult to rely solely on trains or buses to explore the area. The best solution would be to rent a car or a motorbike and to travel around. Finding a car to rent is very easy. Both the two main Puglia airports, Bari and Brindisi, offer car rental services. How many days in Puglia? Puglia is not a small region. 2 weeks are perfect to see everything this beautiful region has to offer. However, traveling for so long is not always possible. All the places you will find in this post are listed in a way that can be used to create Puglia, Italy itineraries, if you've got 7 to 10 days free to travel. If you plan to spend a few days in Puglia as part of your Italy trip, focus on a specific part of Puglia, Gargano, Valle d'Itria, Salento, to maximize your time. Travelers with limited time tend to focus on the Valle d'Itria and the Bari area. What to do in Puglia depends on what you like because the region has a ton to offer. Decide on a few of your must-see and dose, like sightseeing at ancient churches, lounging on white sandy beaches, enjoying wine and olive oil tastings, or visiting the trolley houses. Then, craft your own Puglia road trip around your interests. Best time to visit Puglia, Italy. Given its surge in popularity, Puglia is a busy destination during the summer months. Italians and travelers from all over go to enjoy the sun and sand. Puglia beaches are considered to be among the best in Italy. My advice is to visit the region during late spring, April-May, or early fall, September-October. You will find amazingly warmish weather, but very few other tourists around. Where to stay in Puglia? You can break the Puglia region into different areas. The Gargano Peninsula, the Valle d'Itria, and Salento are the northern, central, and southern parts, respectively. There's also Bari and the immediate coastal towns and villages surrounding it. If your plan is to explore Puglia from north to south or vice versa, you'll want a base in each area. This is the best way to maximize your time, so you can day trip comfortably and not spend long hours behind the wheel of your car. In Puglia, you'll find boutique B&Bs, independent hotels, trolley accommodations, and masserie, characteristic farmhouses that have been restored to offer authentic yet comfortable stays. Many of these masserie are even quite luxurious, with pools, spa services, and, of course, delicious food and wine. Rather than focus on a particular town in Puglia, look for the best Puglia hotels and accommodations that match your style and budget. Then, take day trips within that area before moving on to your next base. Subscribe to our channel for more similar videos.